Good afternoon, fellas. I'm here today, me and my wife. We're going to talk to you a little bit about being in the streets and the experience that I got out of it. I don't think that it was a cute experience, but it was an experience that I truly will never forget. I just want to tell you about how the drugs really will mess your life up if you decide to get on drugs, which is not really a good thing to do. I'm just going to be honest. And like I said, I was on numerous drugs like cocaine, I was on heroin, I was popping ecstasy pills, I was sniffing cocaine, I was smoke crack, on a soda can, a beer can, whatever kind of can I got my hand on, which is really no good because every time I turned around, I ended up broke. I had a job, and basically my job was really supporting my habit, of being on drugs. And really today, I don't look like what I've been through, but I just thank God that He is the one that changed my life. I didn't have to go to any NA classes or any alcohol announcement classes because God was the ultimate power that changed my life. I just really got really tired down into my spirit. I said I was tired of using drugs, and I said I had to draw the line here and do something about it. So this is basically what the outcome of using drugs is. You get what you see, and this is me. I'm doing a lot better in my life. I'm married, and I have my kids, with me. I went through a little custody battle here not too long ago, with my kids. And literally, to be honest with you, the main thing that how I really got on drugs was watching other people doing it. I was living in Greensonville, Maryland at the time, and I watched so many people use drugs around me, and it just got to the point where I wanted to try it, and people that were using it around me, I would always ask, I was like, what is that like? How does that make you feel? What does that taste like? And they were like, you know what? I'm not going to be the one to give it to you because I don't want to be responsible for you being addicted or going into addiction on these drugs. So they would always tell me no, and I was determined I had to try, especially the cocaine. I really wanted to try it because I used to see people, they really like they was having a good time, and they really like they was feeling hopped up and high on life. So that was something that I wanted to try. So I actually got strung out on cocaine. Basically, I had numerous occasions where I had got high. I mean, there was even point in times where I would be inside in the woods with my shirt off, out hiding for the police, and come to find out they weren't even looking for me. I was so paranoid, and that drug is really an expensive drug, but it's also a drug that'll take you out of your mind. I mean, literally take you high off life. I mean, you like tripping, and you're thinking somebody's always after you, but that's not really the case. I mean, it's just something that I overcame, and I came through it, and by the grace of God that I'm still living, because I can count numerous times that I could have OD'd on cocaine alone, because it would be nights where I would start sniffing cocaine like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and next thing you know, before you know it, time had moved, and it was 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, the sun was coming up when I would be starting to come down off of it. And of course, after coming off of cocaine, I mean, it's the most worst feeling that you could ever have. I mean, as far as your nose, feel like somebody took sandpaper and sand up in your nose, your nostrils. It feels like you can't get your sniffles under control, and it's like you feel like this complete crap, and I just want to tell y'all today, that's not the way to go. I mean, if you haven't used drugs, that's good. Don't start using drugs. But if you have used them and you're thinking about getting off them, and you may need a way or somebody to talk to, get off them. I mean, there are plenty of addiction centers around. I mean, the help is out there if you really want it. And then also, you can ask God. You can get on your knees and ask God to help you deliver you from your addiction. And that wasn't the only drug. I mean, I did heroin also, and that I did that maybe for like a month. I mean, I didn't really like heroin, but I'd advise anybody not to get on that, because that type of drug is like a downer, and it makes you feel depressed. Anxieties kick in, then you feel like that you got to have more and more and more and more and more. And I mean, I was blessed by the grace of God. I didn't take and shoot needles and nothing. I sniffed it, but as far as shooting needles, and to the point where I got needles hanging out of my arm, I'm lapsed out somewhere in the back of somebody's yard or behind a barn or something, or out in the street behind a building or something. I just thank God I didn't get too far with that. But that was just one of the major things that I can't overcame. Just using drugs all in general. Even being out in the street. Now this is funny because I started off selling drugs, and selling crack cocaine, of course, selling weed here and there. That was really the only major ones that I sold, but I never sold any heroin or nothing like that. But my main point I want to get across today is that a lot of times when you end up selling drugs, doesn't work like that on everybody, but most of the time when you're selling drugs, you end up on your own drugs, your own supply. And there's an old saying, don't get high on your own supply. And guess what? I stand here today to tell you I was that person. I got high on my own supply, and it started like this one day. My drug of choice was cocaine. And so one day I had some crack in my pocket. I called myself hustling, whatever I call myself doing, making a couple fast dollars. And I had it in my pocket. And on this one particular day, I couldn't find the drug of choice, which is cocaine. So I ended up, I ran my hand in my pockets, my fingers. I could feel had an 8-ball in my pocket. I said, I wonder what it would be like to use this 8-ball. So I thought about it for a while. I didn't do it right away. I thought about it. I run my hand back in my pocket, kept feeling it. I said, I wonder what this feel like. I can't find no cocaine, so let me try this out. So I ended up getting strung out on crack cocaine. I just only smoked crack for a month. Didn't smoke it too long, but long enough for me to realize that it was not for me. And it's like the most strong, dangerous drug out here today. Because one thing for sure, you get that first high of crack cocaine, you continue to spend dollars to chase that same high that you never can catch back up with. And what it end up doing is basically having you chasing a high down that you'll never get back in the first place. And the first one is always the one that gets you out there. And once they get you out there, you just out there. Unless you got self-will and self-power and self-control to be able to get yourself into a clinic or something to get cleaned up. But here I stand today again. God changed my life. He took full control of my life. I'm here today to tell you I'm not on drugs. I'm not getting high. I got a job. I'm not going to work just only till on Friday to get paid to put the money into the drug man's hand. Because basically that's what I was doing. I worked all week long just to get high. Even when I was smoking cigarettes on a Monday morning, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together to even buy a cigarette. I was bumming cigarettes from people. And people were looking at me like, you done worked all week like we have. You can't even buy a pack of cigarettes. But I bet you went and got that drug, didn't you? Yeah, I got the drug. But it just basically, and then like, even if you got any type of household and you got kids and you got family, I'm going to tell you right now, that drugs will tear down everything that you can possibly build up. Even if you were doing good in your life before you got on drugs. Cocaine, heroin, amphetamines, meth. And I didn't get too far off on any of that stuff. Thank God I didn't get to none of that, but they said that's like number 1 killers out here too, man. Meth, amphetamine, you can get like, it's the new drug they got out here called the dippers with the embalming fluid and on the tips of the cigarettes and everything. That's basically known in DC, but it's not too bad in this area around here. But I'm glad I didn't get on the dippers, because sometimes people get on dippers and they end up having their brain lapse, and then you can't come back around to your natural self. Then you don't know what happened. Next thing you know, you find yourself in a mental institution because you're doing crazy things. But God allowed me to not even get into that. I think really the drugs that I did use was, I guess maybe His plan for me to use them so I could be able to come back clean and not look like what I was looking like, to help somebody out there today that may be strung out on drugs. And I really hope that this is very helpful to somebody, and this could be encouraging for them to get off of drugs. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I have a beautiful wife here that supports me. And like half the time when I told her about the drugs that I was on, she couldn't even believe it. She was like, wow, you just don't like the type of guy. And I was like, it is what it is. I did it and I done it. It's over with, and I'm just here to stay clean and raise my 4 lovely kids. I got 3 girls and a boy. It's overwhelming. It's tough sometimes. But I thank God He gave them to me, and now I got to be a father figure to them. But without me being able to be clean off drugs, I would have never been able to take care of my family the way I am today. And it's very nice and amazing to be able to have a family, of 4, of actually 5. My son is in Easton, so I love him to death too, But God has done a remarkable change on me, and drugs is not it, young guys out here, young fellas. I'm gonna tell you, even down to the selling drugs, I can tell you about selling drugs. That ain't it either, because it's only two things gonna come out of it. You gonna end up dead, or you gonna end up in prison. And most of the time, a lot of guys end up dead. They don't even make it to prison. I was blessed because the judge told me, he said, if I see you again, I might mess around and give you 50 years. But I said, the devil is a liar, because you're not going to give me no 50 years. So I cleaned my act up and got it together, And some more about myself. I mean, even out in the streets, I was out here renting cars, I was giving drugs to the addicts out there. And they would let me use their car. I was driving around with no license. I hopped at a car quite a few times, and the police got after me. And this one particular time, I was in Salisbury, and the police got after me. I think I had a little weed in the car. I don't think I had crack cocaine at that time, but it was so hilarious because when the cop pulled me over, and I realized I had just bought this Lincoln, a brand new white Lincoln with white walls, leather white top on it. I mean, she was pretty, y'all. I mean, this car was so nice. And no sooner than I got the car, I think I had the car 2 days. And I was riding around, I thought I was it. I mean, I was smoking my little weed and selling my little drugs, riding around thinking I had it made. And man, this one particular day, the police got after me. Turned the lights on. So I look up in my mirror, I said, I think he's getting ready to pull me over. So I said, look, I'm going to play this real slick. I pulled up to a stop sign. So when he put his car in gear and got ready to get out of his car, that's when I jumped out the car, left the door wide open on the driver's side, took off running, left one boot at the scene, and then when they called him down with me on the other side of town, I had another boot on the off my feet. I had ran completely out of my Timberland boots. I had just bought them boots. They were fresh Timbs. Just bought them. Ran completely out of them. Then next thing I knew, I was running in circles. There was like 50 cops after me. I was like, are you serious? One person? I only had some weed. You know what I mean? And of course, I was driving unsuspended. Didn't even have no license at the time. So they all tackled me like a football player. I mean, they just all jumped on me, man. I just felt like, I said, what am I going to do now? So I took and went to jail on that charge. They charged me with driving unsuspended, unauthorized use, no insurance on the car and all. And that's even another story too. Even if young guys out here driving no license, I would encourage you to go get your license. I mean, even if you don't understand how to get your license, get with somebody to get you down to DMV. They got driver license books down there. You can get your books and study up and get your license. Get your permit first, get your license. So really, it's not cool to be out here driving without a license. That's this experience that I went through that I wanted to tell you about to help you get on your way and try to get your driver's license. And by the way, now I have a Class A CDL. This is amazing. I mean, something I never thought I would have. I don't have any points by the grace of God, no speeding tickets, no accidents. And God is good, I tell you. I can drive a tractor trailer. I can drive anything I want to drive, just by me doing what I'm supposed to do and putting God first. And He changed my life and turned it all the way around. So the positive aspect I want to put out to you is stay focused in your life, young men. Never had so much pride that you don't want anybody to tell you anything. Even if you are making money out there, don't get to, let your head swell up with it, because at any given time you can get caught. And I really advise you not to do it, because that's the right thing to do. But, I really can't tell you what to do, but the safest thing to do is not sell drugs. Don't get high on drugs. Don't use drugs. I mean, I'm not telling anybody what to do out here, but I just feel like this can be helpful to you. So if you would like to take anybody's advice, take mine. Please do not use. Say no. That's the number one thing they were taught in high school and middle school. Say no to drugs. And I used to always say it. I would say, yes, no, I'm not never using. Oh, I would never use cocaine. I would never smoke crack. I would never do this and that. And I ended up doing it. And, guess what? I'm here today. I'm living. I'm in good health. I got God in my life. And you can do the same thing. So I just want to encourage you to say no to drugs. Say no to the street. Say no to anything that's not going to profit you and benefit you in the long run. And that's going to put you on the right track. This is basically what I want to say to you. So y'all have a good day. Stay focused. And if you ever feel like you're going to have a downfall with drugs, or you feel like that you just can't reach that point of somebody to talk to, all I want you to do is play this video over and over and over and over and again. This is the best way that I can help you. I'm not this super person out here that's trying to be like I'm all this and I overcame everything in life, because I have not overcame everything in life. I'm still striving to live right, live for the Lord and do what's right. It's not easy at times. It's tough. Sometimes I get mad. Sometimes I get an attitude. Sometimes I get angry. But I'm just here to tell you, it's one day at a time for me. And I ain't gonna lie to you. The devil had told me a million times, man, you ought to go smoke your joint or something. You ought to go get some powder, man. Your wife not gonna know, You can hit you one right quick on your way home, and then all you gotta do then is sit in the car or ride around until it wears off. But it's only one thing I was forgetting. My job can piss me at any given time. I mean, I can I afford to lose my job? No, I can't. I have 5 kids to raise. So really it's about being responsible and being a man, and taking control of your responsibilities. You be in charge of your responsibilities. Don't let your responsibilities overcome you or take over you. You be in control and take care of your responsibilities, because in the long run, we as men, we got a job to do. That's either whether it's provide for a family, whether it's take care of yourself, whether it's provide for your household, or whether it be take care of somebody else. You may have a grandmother you have to see after. You may have a grandfather you have to see after. And this is young ladies too. I'm not talking to just young men, because there's young ladies that's out there, using, like I was in life. I'm not saying that you're perfect. You aren't perfect, but I want to tell you that if you want to turn your life around and become clean, get on your knees. Ask God to forgive you for everything you've done. Even if you smoked a joint last night and you're just so tired of using, even if you sniffed any powder last night, whatever drug it may be, if you use anything, just ask, and you're really, really tired down in your heart, ask God to forgive you. I guarantee you this will never steer you wrong. Get on your knees. Take a moment of silence. Trust me, He hears you. Everything that you say to Him, He hears you. Get on your knees and say, God, please take this away from me. I don't want this. I don't want to live like this. I want to be clean. I am sick and tired of being nobody. I am sick and tired of being this person that I know I'm not. But see, to be honest, God created everybody to worship Him. Now, whether you choose to worship God, that's another story. But He created everybody to worship Him. He gets all the glory and the praise and the honor. So take a few moments to put Him first. I mean, even if He might not have money, you might figure you have to go out and hustle this and hustle that to get a couple of dollars. Guess what? If you ask God for what you need, I guarantee you, He'll open the door and open up the windows in heaven that you will not have enough to receive. I mean, He'll pour it on you. And another thing is, when you get it, like if you get a couple of dollars, like say somebody gave you $20, give God $2 of it, and see, don't it change your life? He will bless you beyond recognition. I am a firm believer, and I am a firm witness. My wife will tell you. She'll tell you that there ain't nothing that God will hold back from you if you hold your hands up to Him and tell Him that you need Him. And Lord, I just thank You for this presentation, that I was able to help somebody. Hopefully I was able to help somebody and to steer them on the right track. I don't have it all together, and I'm still striving every day. And don't think that I don't always have this urge to use. It comes to me, but at the same time, you got to be quick and fast and ready to say, no, I don't want this. You got to say it, because it's going to come. The urge is going to come. You're going to want to use. You're going to want to drink. Even if alcohol is another whole story. Man, I tell you, I was on alcohol at one point in time. I was drinking vodka one night. I used to get in fights all the time, and I would always run around the world. I had to drink like I did, And really, actually, I wasn't. My tolerance level was not high at all, anyway. So a couple of drinks, man, I was ready to get into whatever, and that was like a number one trigger of using drugs too, cocaine or whatever. But alcohol is a dangerous thing too. So please, even if you're drinking alcohol or something like that, and you want to get clean of alcohol or whatever, just get on your knees, ask God to help you, and He will deliver you. So basically, guys, I hope you enjoyed what I said today, and hopefully it was helpful to you, and I figured my experience could be a help to you, and maybe that you may avoid going down the path that I went, because trust me, it was not easy. I've been to prison 4 different times, and my main source of prison was drugs and using. I was even on probation at times, for smoking weed. I just was determined I was not gonna stop smoking that weed. I mean, it made me feel so good, and I didn't want to hear what nobody said. I wanted to smoke my trees, and that's what I used to call it back in the day. My trees and my sticks and branches, and I had to have my branches. But I thank God He delivered me from that too. And cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes for 25 years. That's a drug too, guys. Sometimes you gotta have that cigarette in the morning when you first wake up. If you get that coffee, you gotta smoke that cigarette. You know what? I'm not pointing the finger at nobody. Guess what? Nobody is perfect. I'm not no better than you are, but I smoked cigarettes for 25 years. Guess what? God took them from me too. And if He did it for me, He'll do the same for you. So, I hope you enjoyed what I said today. And my wife, she didn't say much today, but I mean, this is before I met her, of course. And I just gave her little stories of it, pieces and bits here and there. But I don't think she really was that type of person. I mean, to use drugs or anything like this. I think she smoked weed 1 or 2 times in a conversation, but there wasn't nothing heavy that she felt like she had to do at times to get her fix or to put it where she needed to be to get her day started. But I don't think she smoked cigarettes and like that. But guess what? We're not perfect. We're here to help. And I just hope my story was helpful to you today. And by the grace of God, you have a blessed day. And stay tuned because there's going to be more stories. And keep watching. Subscribe to this if you like. I mean, if you thought it was okay, give me a thumbs up. I mean, by the grace of God, He gets all the glory, not me. And I just thank you for watching. And have a great and wonderful and blessed day. In Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
Amen.